Still to come in July, do you need me to start over? Okay. Still to come in July, we have a jazz trio, a duo playing traditional Jewish folk music, a Western swing band, and a singer-songwriter to close things out. We have handbills with this information among feedback forms on the table outside the doors. So please grab one when you leave, and please fill out a form. It does help us with future programming. So let me welcome Jude Brothers.
Hi, everyone. Wow. I didn't know it was going to be so big in here. It's so fun to be here. When I was a little kid, I used to come to shows at the library, of course, in the Walker Community Room, and I remember thinking it was so cool that you could just play music in the library, a space that's traditionally meant to be quiet, you know, but to be as loud as you want to be in the library and not get shushed, it kind of feels awesome. So I remember I really wanted that, and when I found out that I personally could be noisy in the library and be allowed and encouraged to do so, I was like, I've got to do that. So when I was in England, everyone was like, why aren't you staying and doing a longer tour? What's going on? I was like, I've got to go to the library. So suffice to say, I'm really, really happy to be here, and thanks so much to everyone for coming. Well, I'm going to start off with the lighthearted stuff, and then as we progress here this afternoon, I'm going to get kind of dark and pitiful on you, and I apologize in advance. Maybe some of you like that. If you saw a folk musician, hopefully you assumed that there would be some dark and pitiful numbers involved. But here's a song I wrote about leaving a place that you love so you can become a different version of yourself.
Don't get me wrong, I love the sunshine, but that don't mean I get no peace of mind when I'm away. Still around this pretty old tale. Well, I never wanted a big piece of pie. Don't think my name is written up in the sky, for I don't even know what I am called. And I can't take back all the bullshit that I've said. Most days think I'd be better off dead instead of talking to old ghosts of old friends in my head, in my head. That's why I gotta get alone. Somewhere I got nothing to prove. Set myself wrong. Please don't get me wrong. Oh, I love sunshine, but I don't mean I get no peace of mind, 'cause you're still around. I'm still around this godforsaken, beautiful town. When some old fart at the bar says how long you lived around here, it's been a minute. sweetheart said they'd have me any old way, as if I needed another reason to stay. Baby, I just don't need another reason to stay. You know I gotta get set myself wrong.
Thank you.
Took a long, hard ride on the big, big band set. Got caught in the thrill of it all. Now you're coming back home in the fall. Ran yourself ragged, I know, with all of your baggage in tow. All of the times you lost your cool, all of the ways you played a fool. Everyone had a pool, hey, everyone had a pool, hey, everyone had a pool. Found yourself off course, whatever that means anymore. You're clinging too tight to the past. You can't seem to make new love last. Baby, go on, let someone in. You're too scared it'll happen again. So you play it too close to the chest and grind it away while you do your best. Remember, I is a star in the west. Remember, I is a star in the west. Remember, I is a star in the west. The water's fine, but let it be mine. Look at the sky, into the bright ocean. It ain't a pool, it's the ocean.
Thank you. All right. So, can't help but noticing that there's some kids here. Thanks for coming. Thanks for bringing your kids. Kids are awesome. I am gonna cuss a little bit. Just wanted you to know. Some people are sensitive about that. I know my mother certainly wasn't, and that's why I can't write a song without at least 1 or 2 cuss words in it. This is a song about falling in love with your friends.
I fell in love, took a wrong turn at White City. I'm still kicking myself for not telling the girl in the passenger seat that I thought she was pretty when she sang along to all them rock and roll songs. And we danced in the My daddy told me that that curve would come on quick. But you know I didn't tell my daddy about the curve and the swing of that Texas Queen's hips. When she moves through the crowd, she'll make you go shout out loud. Oh, it's such a dollar, you know, she told me all about all the things that made her feel rowdy and true. Oh, I'm I am someday I'll tell you. Oh, my daddy told me, my mama told me Bob Seger was a handsy. But blasting night moves in the morning while my own heart was burning was a transgression I couldn't resist. Oh, that Arkansas air, it washed away all my despair. We're shaking our busted frames. I want no stake and no claim. I bear me way the way you look at me. Take away all of my cage. Oh, I am someday I'll tell you. Oh, I am last time I seen her, she was working at that old cafe. I came by just to squeeze her, maybe in time I need her, for up and roll so far away. Yeah, she marked me for good in a way that only she could. Her fierce and funky tongue ways got me thinking I should grow some guts and say, hey, 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 oh, I am not so much next to you. Oh, I am oh, I am oh, I am I fell in love, took a wrong turn at White City. Wow, thanks so much. Here's a little short one I wrote. Think a lot about how it's really easy to love the natural world, you know, trees and dirt and the woods and complicated ecosystems. It's really easy to love the complexity of those things and how they're made, but sometimes we struggle to do that when we're dealing with other people who, even though it's easy to forget, are also part of the natural world. So here's about wanting to be loved like a tree. Treat me like a tree and love me for my crookedness. Arboriform, charm, and all my catchy wickedness. With my gnarled branches broken You might have to share me with a couple little birds and squirrels. We could hang a rope swing to suspend your disbelief. And if that don't work, make like a different kind of tree and leave. I'm sorry I did that. And I'll treat you like a stream, ever-changing, wild and free, rambling through the deep woods, trying to get back to the deeper sea. And to close you off or damn you up would be wrong. 'Cause water's water, baby, you were made to roll along. 'Cause water's water, baby, you were made to roll along.
This is one of many songs in this set I'm about to do that feature birds heavily. I'd be like, what's up with this person and birds? And I mean, what's up with birds, you know? The song's about a lot of other stuff, but it's called Magpie.
A magpie's tongue, you can teach it how to speak. If you take the older home, you can teach it how to leave. But it is right and it is wrong, it is all it's meant to be. So don't clip the birdie's tongue, leave the talk to you and me. Let her cut no tongue, cut no wing. We had peace. It's all just everything. If you peel a birch's bark, it might reveal a pretty green. If you hold a dream too tight, you are sure to make it mean. For it is right and it is wrong, it is all it wants to be. So you leave that tree, its skin, leave the change to you and me. Let it stand, let it sway. Blue by night, white by day. Let it be gone your own way. If you stir a sleeping man underneath the ancient oak, you can charm him with your wiles, you can make him all your own. But he is right and he is wrong, he is just where he should be. So you let that rambler alone, leave the loving to you and me. Let him sleep, let him dream, let him lay low and sweet, float a lullaby down on the stream. If you clip a magpie's tongue, you can teach her how to speak. If you take the older home, you can to you and me.
Thank you. All right. See what we got here. The archives. No, just kidding. It's just a list. It's not an archive. That'd be way cooler. All right. This is a song I wrote about loving people as if they were comets, like they were just gonna pass by, and you could enjoy it while it happened.
At the end of Blue Jay hailing, a comet came by with the rain. You say you're getting on a big jet plane. You said I might see you again, but you don't love me the same. Apparition, appetite, how I burn for what does fly, be it skull or sin or stone or sky, how I burn for what passes by. I could tell you why, but I think you know why. I think you know why. At the end of Barn Owl Lane, a comet came by with the rain. I said I'm holding on to so much pain, watching the ways that you wax and wane. He don't love you the same, and you don't love me the same. But I love the way you come around, only stand away. You was bad, baby. I love the way you come around. upper regions of the universe. Would you bombard the young earth metaphor? Simple, supple, raw and warm. Would you fill the oceans, shape their shores, fly away and leave them wanting more? At the end of Blue Jay, a comet came by victory.
Thank you. You doing all right out there? It's kind of like you're in a movie theater. Just really minimalist movie. It's nice and dark and cool, air conditioned. The stage is really big. Really had it in my mind that I was like, I was like playing at the library. I knew it was going to be some kind of thing. But I was like, maybe there'll at least be some books around. I'd really feel better if there were some books here. Does anyone have any books with them? Okay, at least, okay, good. At least there's some books in here. That makes me feel a little bit better. This is a song by one of my many musical heroes named Joanna Newsom. And I really like songs that are about everything because I think it's fascinating to see what meaning people attach to them. Like someone's like, oh, this song's definitely about this one thing. And you're like, actually, it's about all these other things. And so this is one of these songs that I had in my mind. I was like, I know exactly what this is about. And then I listened to it over and over and over again. And I was like, I don't know anything at all. So this is a song called Divers.
The diver is my love, and I am his. If I am not deceived, who takes one breath above for every hour below the sea? Who gave to me a jewel worth twice this woman's life? But it would have cost her less than laying at low tide to see her true love phosphoresce. And in an infinite regress, tell me why is the pain of birth lighter born than the pain of death? I ain't saying that I loved you first, but I loved you best. And I know we must stay back, each by our rules that bind us here, the divers and the sailors and the women on the pier. But how do you choose your form? How do you choose your name? How do you choose your life? How do you choose the time You must exhale and kick and rise. And in an infinite backslide, like a boat tearing down the coast. Double hole, bearing double masts. I ain't saying that you loved me most, but you loved me last. So recall the word you gave to count your way across the depths of this arid world, where you would yoke the waves to lay a bed of shining pearls. Oh, I dream it every night, a ring of the pavement, mounds of sand is large, the shocking, quick and bright, the twinned and cast-off shells reveal a heart of shining white. And in an infinite capsize, ancient borders sink past the west, like a sword at the bearer's fall. I ain't claiming to have known you best, but did you know me at all? A woman is alive. A woman is alive. You do not take her for a sign, an anchor on the stone, alone, unfaceted and fine. And never will I wed. I'll hunt the pearl of death to the bottom of my life, and ever hold my breath till I might be the diver's wife. See how the infinite divides, but the divers are not to blame, for the rifts spanning different shores. You don't know my name, but I know yours.
Thank you. Thanks so much. I'm gonna play another cover for you. This time it's a traditional by the name of, sometimes it's called The Blackest Crow, sometimes it's called My Dearest Dear. Sometimes people say it's from the Ozarks, and some people say it's from the Appalachians, and some people say it probably came from England, and some people say it probably came from Ireland. So it's probably all of those things at the same time. kind of taken liberties with it, made it my own a little bit, added a verse. So if you know it and you're like, that's not how you play the Blackest Crow, I don't want to hear about it. No, just kidding. I would love to hear about it.
As time draws near, my dearest dear, when you and I must part, what little you know of the grief and woe in my poor aching heart. Each night I suffer for your sake. You're the girl I love so dear. I wish that I was gone with you, or you were staying here. I wish my breast was made of glass, wherein you might behold, for there your name lies wrote, my dear, in letters made of gold. For there your name lies wrote, my dear, believe me when I say that you are the one I love the best until my dying day. The blackest crow that ever was would surely turn to eye if ever I prove false to you. Bright day be turned to night. Bright day be turned to night, my love. Yeah, mine's would mourn if ever I prove false to you. The seas will rage and burn. So when you're on some distant shore, think of your absent friend. And when the wind blows high and clear, hey, back to me, pray send. Oh, when the wind blows high and clear, pray send your love to me, and I might know by your handwriting how time has gone with thee. That very crow, my darling one, I watch him as he flies, still shining fine obsidian. I hear his murder's cries. Oh, as I am, far as you are, my heart has remained true, as deep and dark as midnight wings, my love remains for you. Thank you.
All right. We're about to descend into the really pitiful stuff. If you're gonna leave, you better get out. All right, so this is another traditional that comes from multiple places at the same time. One half of this song is Oj Kukuvičke, which is a Bulgarian song from the Rhodope Mountains, taught to me by my choir that I used to sing in, led by Willa Roberts. And the other half of it is the classic traditional American folk song, Cuckoo. But once again, I may have taken some liberties and changed it up a little bit. So yeah. Sometimes I forget to say things. We have time. I can talk. I don't have to. I'm not very good at banter. I usually try to stick to more bangers, less banter. But I will say it is important about this song. That another thing that's interesting is that there's these two different times, two different places very far away from each other. The guy who wrote the Cuckoo song probably didn't know that there were women in Bulgaria looking at the mountains and imitating the ways that they swoop with their voices and thinking about how cuckoo birds must be so lonely and about how they must be so lonely and then projecting that onto the cuckoo bird. But he was doing the same thing all the way over here. And I think that that's one of my favorite things about folk music is sometimes like people have the same ideas in different places coming from different lenses and yet they like thematically link up. So that's why I made maybe the dorkiest folk mashup of music that I've ever made, but I can still get worse. One more thing, I'm sorry, I keep faking y'all out. The Bulgarian lyrics, also if anybody speaks Bulgarian, I'm so sorry. Because I'm probably butchering it, that's why I say sorry. The Bulgarian translates roughly to, "Oh, cuckoo bird, you fly so beautifully, have you seen my love?" So if you know, what is she saying up there?
passing by. Oh, my horses, they ain't hungry, so they won't eat no hay. I'll just fly home with the cuckoo, wondering how you could treat me this way. Ooh, cuckoo, she's a pretty bird. Oh, she warbles as she flies. She won't cause you no trouble, and she won't tell you no lies. Oh, each oh, she warbles as she flies.
And just as you were maybe beginning to think, is that harp just stage dressing? No, certainly is not. Okay. Wow. Who wrote all these songs down? There's a lot of stuff on here. Okay. Working on an album. That's been fun. It's also been infuriating. Can't speak for all musicians, but in my experience, music is in equal measure infuriating and soul-affirming, which I guess it's a pretty good payoff. The name of the album is Render, Tender, Blunder, Sunder. You can say it if you want. It feels kind of good. Let's go. Render, Tender, Blunder, Sunder. And that's the name of the song, too. And it's about cutting something up until you get to the most, like, vulnerable baby bird type essence of it. And then also sometimes instead of doing that, you just smash everything up until it's just like uprooted entirely. And both ways are valid depending on the situation, but and sometimes neither are valid depending on the situation, Jude. And sometimes you have to tune your harp. Okay.
Sun up over Sangres, sundown through the Gilas, the sweetness between us and upper Gainas. places we'd be. My face evergreen, your red cedar tree memory. After my many blunders, that tree would you soon sunder. Dig it up from its home in his mind. Would you burn it and leave it behind? I sing for that old man you see, not for the old young man that he used to be. I sing this for him and his grievous old tree. Serenade cedar and sweet old fogey. Silence through the Spanish peaks, confession at the factory. Fantasy bound us, now coldness surrounds us. Could love so wrought ever stay tender, of steel and of iron, destruction or mender? The softer creatures that we did render left us to become such wayward pretenders. A new Walsenburg ghost, gilded age rubble, their humble new host. Rusty pipes took their place in our hearts, for a rift that was there from the start. I sing for that metal you see, not for the promises made you and me. I sing for that old broken down factory. Serenade red busted brick mystery. Tall grass round a pine wood home where old friends and lovers roam. The warmth in your strange face, could I your memory replace? I dreamt of your golden-haired baby boy. Your glistening hazels were ablazing with joy. On the porch of a house you built on the plain, with your beautiful wife and her hair all in braids. He climbed in my lap, brought his hands to my face. When he laughed, all my pain he erased. Saw in me more than lost and forlorn. He forgave me my trifle in scorn. I sing for all that child did teach, not for the friendship we lost in the breach. I sing for the innocence that I redeemed. I sing for the moment we shared in a dream. I sing for all that will never be spoke, this be the last song I'm singing for you? Darling, is this the last song I'm singing for you?
Thank you. Thank you. One of the things I was most disarmed by when I was in England was the difference in audiences, where it was like, it's kind of unnerving to have people really listen carefully. For a long time, I was used to playing in a rowdy room where I was lucky if like 2 or 3 people were like tuned in and sitting really close so they could hear over the other people having like 6 different conversations behind them. Then I kind of got used to that, even though I'd be like, then when I got to England, I was like, oh my God, every single audience we have is listening. And then they're asking questions about it later. And they notice lyrics. What is happening? Oh my God. And I've got to say, you got even some of my polite English audiences beat, y'all. You're so kind, listening so beautifully. People always talk about music being played beautifully, but I don't know if we talk enough about listening beautifully, So that's y'all. This is a song called Practicing Silence / Looking for Water. It's about both those things at the same time. I am practicing silence so I might hear your voice ring out. I am practicing silence 'cause you don't want to hear what I am on about. Truth be told, I'm practicing silence 'cause I'm proud. Truth be told, I'm practicing silence 'cause I'm proud. And I don't want you to know I've been spinning out. Maybe we had to call it 'cause your heart was always with her. Maybe we had to call it 'cause I made too much of a mess for either to endure. Truth be told, we called it 'cause it just wasn't right. And I wish I had never held on to you so damn tight. I'm reminded our love was like driving west at sunset, through the blind and the fun and the pain and the beauty, the bitter weight of my regret. Truth be told, some days I still drink to forget that I am the only one who ain't over it yet. I'm still practicing silence, but these days I'm on the mend. I'm still practicing silence, so where was the time that I called you my dearest friend? Truth be told, I'm practicing silence to be free.
I'm still carrying on, looking for water, looking for water, looking for water.
Thank you. All right. Thank you. Interesting. This is one of the newer songs that I've written. I stand before you very nearly 5 months sober. It's really exciting, thank you. Yeah. And as any of my friends out there who have had problems with and then chosen to abstain from alcohol know, it's not just the quitting, it's the hard part, it's all the stuff that comes up after the quitting. So here's a song I wrote that I sing myself when it all feels a little bit too much. In the atoning, I was just making room to seek out a hollow, distant call. Before the wounding, before the grooming, I'm only human after all. In the erasure, I hadn't found my place, sure, but I was eager just to try. I sought to fill my cup, found I could not get enough. I'd still never know the reasons why. Spent much time courting statues of marble and limestone, and who had no desire to soften thus. I danced a futile dance round each lonely second chance. It was entanglement or bust. Or bust. But I can still remember that long before the benders, I was so curious and wise. A filthy feral darling, just digging, crawling, snarling, before I wore a girl's disguise. These days I'm on a mission to grant that critter's wishing and see that mystery abounds. So I will take my time, set my roots, grow my vines, and be alive with what surrounds. I tell the story well, and I tell it often. But what would happen if I told it a little different?
scatter all of the good love. I'm gonna build a life that I don't want to escape from.
Thank you. In that song, I do a little lyrical reference to one of my favorite childhood movies was The Last Unicorn. If you haven't seen it, highly recommend. Mia Farrow plays a unicorn that through some shenanigans gets turned into a human. And there's this one song in which she's mourning her loss of her unicornness and her transition into humanity. And when I was little, it made me so sad, like just absolutely bereft, tiny person, just being like, well, she's not a unicorn. But it hit me in this deeper way that sometimes there's these like egg moments that don't make sense until you crack them open later. And then, as I've gotten older and I think about the way that gender roles being forced upon me in a really extreme way, not by my parents necessarily, but by the society that we live in, made me feel as if that I had to give up my unicornness and turn into a woman. And now singing this song feels really different because I'll let it speak for itself.
Someone strange. I was innocent and wise and full of pain. Now that I'm a woman, everything has changed. Now that I'm a woman, everything is strange. Once, when I was searching somewhere out of reach, far away, in a place I could not find or heart obey. Now that I'm a woman, everything is strange. Now that I'm a woman, everything has changed.
Thank you. Oh. Moving back over to the guitar for a second. This is another traditional folk song. To be honest, I like all versions of it, but I probably favor the one by Joan Baez. This is a song in which a girl is turning down a potential suitor because her mother's warned her off of men because of her own heartbreak in the past.
Don't sing me sleeping here right by my side, and in her right hand a silver dagger. She says that I cannot be your bride. Home in our fall, so says my mother. They'll tell you tender, wicked, loving lies. Very next day, they'll go and court another, leave you alone to pine and cry. For my daddy was a handsome devil. He's got a chain 5 miles long. On every link a heart does dangle. From every girl that he loved and wronged. So go and court another maiden. Maybe she will be your wife. But I've been warned. And I've decided I'll sleep alone for all of my life. So don't sing me love songs, you wake my mother. She's sleeping here right by my side. And in her right hand, a silver dagger. She says that I will never be your bride. Thank you. All right. I don't know why I planned it out that way, but we're adaptable. We're adaptable. Okay. This is another traditional old folk song. You might notice a theme in the next few that I do, and perhaps it's intentional. This song I learned from a folk archive, featured some really amazing Northwest Arkansan and other Arkansan music, but of course I was most interested in the Northwest Arkansas stuff, because I mean, come on. This was collected in Fayetteville, Arkansas, I think sometime in the 70s, sung by a woman named Barbara Sutterfield. If anyone knows her. Oh, you know her? Whoa, I want to hear about her. I was like, I bet somebody knows her. Okay, so this song is called The Jealous Lover. Down yonder in the green valley, where the water lilies bloom, there lies a fair young lady, so silent in her tomb. She did not die from heartache, nor did sin They roam through the hills and valleys. They walked in the pathless woods. They roamed till they came to the valley where the water lilies stood. Oh, Willie, darling Willie, I do not wish to roam. Oh, Willie, darling Willie, oh, Willie, take me home. Oh, Lily, darling Lily, from me you shall not fly, for in these woods I brought you, and in these woods you'll die. Down to her knees she tumbled and humbly begged for life, but in her snow-white bosom he plunged a fatal knife. I never did deceive you, she said with her last breath. I never did deceive you, and she closed her eyes in death. Down yonder in the green valley, where the water lilies bloom, there lies a fair young lady, so silent in her tomb.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This next one that I'm going to do is also a song that has a bunch of different verses from a bunch of different places with a bunch of different lyrics that nobody can really seem to agree about. But it showed up in the Middle Ages and kind of transformed over time. Some people believe it to have had versions that were about Mary Magdalene. Some people thought that there were versions about the Samaritan woman at her well. But this version that popped up a little bit later is very distinctly about a young girl who, some sort of clairvoyant nobleman is wandering through the countryside and comes across a well where there's a young girl, and she refuses him a drink, and then he kind of does this really intense look into her harrowed past. She's a very young girl, but she already has a very harrowed past in which, trigger warning, she was forced to give birth to children that her male family members had fathered. And yet this nobleman felt like she was the one who should be condemned to hell for such an act. And if that isn't pertinent to current circumstances, I don't know what is. It's been going on a long time, y'all.
A gentleman was passing by. He stopped for a drink as he got dry. At the well below the valley, oh, green grows the lily, oh, right among the bushes, oh. Your cup is full up to the brim. If you were to stoop, you might fall in at the well below the valley, oh, green grows the lily, oh, right among the bushes, oh. If your true love was passing by, you'd give him a drink if he got dry at the well below the valley, oh, green She swore by grass, she swore by corn, that her true love had never been born at the well below the valley. Oh, green grows the lily, oh, right among the bushes. Oh, he said, young maid, you're swearing on, for 7 children you have born at the well below the valley. Oh, green grows the lily, oh, right among the bushes. Oh, if you be a man of no fame, you'll tell it to me what's happened to them at the well below the valley. Oh, green grows the lily, oh, right among the bushes. Oh, if you be a man of no fame, you'll tell it to me who's the father of them at the well below the valley. Oh, green grows the lily, oh, right among the bushes. Oh, there's 2 of them by your Uncle Dan at the well below the valley. Oh, 2 of them by your brother John at the well below the valley. Oh, 3 of them by your father dear at the well below the valley. Oh, green grows the lily, oh, right among the bushes. Oh, if you be a man of noble fame, you'll tell it to me what's happened to them at the well below the valley. Oh, green grows a lily, oh, right among the bushes. Oh, there's 2 of them by the stable door at the well below the valley. Oh, 2 of them by the kitchen stairs at the well below the valley. Oh, another 3 buried neath the well at the well below the valley. Oh, green grows the lily, oh, right among the bushes. Oh, if you be a man of noble fame, you'll tell it to me what'll happen myself at the well below the valley. Oh, green grows the lily, oh, right among the bushes. Oh, you'll be 7 years and ringing the bell, another 7 porting in hell at the well below the valley. Oh, green grows the lily, oh, right among the bushes. Oh, I'll be 7 years ringing the bell. Will your Lord you love not save my soul from all this hell? At the well below the valley, oh, green grows the lily, oh, right among the bushes. Oh, thank you.
So I'm going to do another song that I didn't know had been sung by Joan Baez, but it's also one that Joan Baez used to do. And it was a song that was written initially as a poem to honor the women from the textile mill strike in Lawrence, Massachusetts in the early 1900s, late 1800s. As you know, women working in textile mills were having a pretty bad time. So they all put their children on trains out of the city so they could fight to have, I believe, instead of a 56-hour work week, a 54-hour work week. So yeah, we've come a long way, but we're still not all the way there, are we? So yeah, the song's called Bread and Roses, as the strike is referred to, the Bread and Roses strike. It's a beautiful word, so I'll mostly let it speak for itself, but I think that, it's really interesting, and I don't think a coincidence that we're seeing a war on bodily autonomy at the same time where workers' uprisings are beginning to happen again in this country in a meaningful way, because the labor movement and bodily autonomy are inextricably linked. Anyway, here's Bread and Roses. As we go marching, marching in the beauty of the day, 1,000,000 darkened kitchens, 1,000 mill lofts gray are filled with all the beauty that a certain sun discloses.
roses, and the people hear us singing bread and roses, bread and roses. As we go marching, marching, we battle to for men, for they are women's children, and we mother them again. Our lives will not be sweated from birth until life closes. Hearts starve as well as bodies. Give us bread, but give us roses. As we go marching, marching, unnumbered women dead, go screaming through our memories their ancient calls for bread. Small art and love and beauty, their drudging spirits knew. Yes, it is bread we fight for, but we fight for roses too. As we go marching, marching, oh, we battle too for men, for they are women's children, and we mother them again. Our lives shall not be sweated from birth until life closes. Hearts starve as well as bodies. Give us bread, but give us roses. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Right. I feel like this is a little bit like a marathon. I'm just here like. This is the last of the truly pitiful numbers. Then I ended us on a hopeful note. Had to do something right by you. This is a song I wrote about believing firmly in the inherent goodness of all people and everyone's right to reconciliation, rehabilitation, maybe not right to reconciliation, but right to rehabilitation, and how that it's complicated to let that into your heart when many of the people that you seek to forgive have made considerable harm. So this is a kind of hard song, but I'm gonna sing it for you because you're here listening so sweetly. Thanks again. How did all your heroes become monsters? Why did all your heroes turn out to be fools? Could it be that power begs to be abused? Could it be that evil is something that you choose? Does it define you? Does it define me too?
As a child, I became an object of desire. Too many grown men I loved, so desperate and so dire, their control and my own hunger held me tight, and that hold on me felt good. I don't make it right. How do I make it right? So we've come to understand that none of us are disposable. So what do we do then for those who enact deplorable hurt that seeps and spreads through our homes and minds? How do we envision justice to be clear and kind? Just make it clear and kind. While I spend my days and nights learning how to forgive myself, I always seem to come up short. It appears I could use a little help. Could it be therein lies a key, and for us to serve a greater good, my friends, starts between you and me. Might that set us all free? I wanna set us all to be here. Don't deny me, I'm still here. Try to be here. Don't deny me, I'm still here. Try to be here. Don't deny me, I'm still here. To be here, I'm still here. Thank you.
All right. We're nearing, slowly, the end of our time here together. I think the next song that I'm about to play, might be the truest thing I've ever written. And I wrote it thinking about, for a long time, when I was a little kid, I used to think about this, about how, and I don't ask me why I was thinking about this as a child, but I was. We live these like really big, complicated lives, and then I don't really know how much of it we get to take with us afterwards, you know? So I'm not a spirit scientist or whatever. I don't really know what gets to carry on with us to the next wherever we go. And it made me really sad when I thought about that when I was little. I was like, oh my God, what if I don't remember my cat? What if I don't remember my favorite book? What if I don't remember, And I forgot I was sad about that for a few years, and then I remembered. And I decided that my way of coping would be to write a song that if I met a fragmented piece of myself from another life in the afterlife, what would I want to tell them about this one? So this song is called Home, Never My Home.
Oh, loving companion, my mirror divine, I'll admit how far the world left behind. The past is competing, contentment is fleeting. It's time for to unfurl, unburden, unwind, and tell you a story that's pure and true, as pure as the love between me and you. A story, I'll tell it all, of the home that was never my home at all. Back when my body had a form and a name, I was reeling and dealing, 1,000 times became new. Now suspended in ether, I'm here just recounting the tales of life lived in earnest to you. Well, there were handsome little fountains through little ancient mountains, rounded off and softened by the hard hands of time. It's there where I ran from, it's there I'll return to, back to a home that'll never be mine. Down where gravity's a love song, from the dirt to the sky, and the wind through the valleys is a great healing sigh. For all that is lost and all that remains, I fear I will wander here the rest of my days. The rest of my days, oh, well, I walk alone, and then from the heavens I surely will fall down, down unto my own home that was never my home at all. Well, I remember my mama, I remember my dad, our home and my sisters, the garden we had, watching little lightning bugs fill the world with their light, sitting around singing old songs side by side. Over potatoes and butter, the smell of red wine, old books and old stories, that family of mine. That family of mine, oh, where are they now? I see it all clearly, I see it, and how dearly I miss them all, in the home that was never my home at all. I remember each lover's peculiar embrace, their touch and their timbre, their tune and their taste. There was a girl with a voice like smoke through the hills, a boy with sad eyes who had taken my will, a dazzling beauty with mahogany hair, a man from across the sea who never did care. Oh, and the sweet supple wholeness of being entwined, the times that it broke me and lost me my mind. How it lost me my mind, love, yet I recall. I love them all dearly, I love them all. How clearly I hear their call, in the home that was never my home. whose names escape me had peppered my path as I walked through the world. Was I a dogwood or was I a girl? Would the limestone still know me if I called out real loud? Its partner alike in the gentle green shroud I had yearned for to cover my tender young skin, and begged for the sweet kiss of death to begin. When digging it deep, love, how could I know I'd fall through the deep flickered earth below, and again from the hands I'd fall to the home that was never my home at all. What memory serves and that it denies? I know that I've lived more than just once or twice. And there were handsome little fountains through little ancient mountains, rounded off and softened by the hands of time. It's there where I ran from, it's there I returned to, back to a home that'll never be mine. Down where gravity's a love song, from the dirt to the sky, and the wind through the valleys is a great heaving sigh. For all that is lost and all that remains, I fear I'll wander here the rest of my days. The rest of my days, oh, well, I walk alone, and then from the heavens I surely will fall down, down unto my own home that was never my home at all. A wilderness pristine, that's what I'll be by the time that you have finally come to find me. Whenever you arrive, you'll have to strain your eyes to see through all the baby green briars and the old growth trees. Where hours turn to days and days to hours, among the wild flocks and carrot flowers. Lay down your burdens and your shame, you will come to know my name in the cradle of life's sweetness and love's power. All right, I've just got two more for you. I think there's time. 10 minutes? Maybe I'll just do 1.5 more then. You know. So when I was in England, I had the distinct pleasure of playing with a couple of my friends, Dylan Earl and Willie Carlisle, and we, at the very last minute, assembled a band and put this amazing set together, and they asked me to think of
some of my favorite music from Arkansas to put in this set, this collaborative set we did. And the first person who came to my mind was Iris Dement. And yeah, I got to sing this song with my friends in front of way too many people. And it's a song about essentially finding heaven or finding redemption in the people that love you and the gifts that you're given on earth. So here we go.
There's a lot of people talking about getting into glory land way. They walk a straight and narrow 'cause they're trying to get to heaven someday. But I've been saved by the love of the people who are living right here. And there's a whole lot of heaven shining in this river of tears. Tell us what the future will hold. We've only got each other and the love we carry in our souls. Well, this world's full of trouble and the path we walk is never quite clear. There's still a whole lot of heaven shining in this river of tears. Streets of gold if you want them, your mansion so dear. I'll take the whole lot of heaven shining in this river of tears. This life that we're living's like a ship that don't want to be steered. Sometimes I wake up in the morning feeling I could crumble beneath the weight of my own fears. Well, it's the pain, it's the strain, it's the struggle, but I persevere. 'Cause there's a whole lot of heaven shining in this river of tears. There's a whole lot of heaven shining in this river of tears. If you pull back that curtain, those diamonds appear. You can have your streets of gold if you want them and your mansion so dear. I'll take the whole lot of heaven shining. I'll take the whole lot of heaven shining. I'll take the whole lot of heaven shining in this river of tears.
Thank you. Well, I can't think of anywhere else I'd rather be on a Sunday afternoon. Thanks again, everyone, for coming and spending some time with me here today. I hope that your bellies get filled with good food and you get to spend some time in good company in the shade. Maybe in the sun, maybe in the water, whatever suits your fancy. Sometimes I think it's good luck to end a set with an incomplete song. And so this is it's not even really a song, it's a thing I sing to myself to remind myself that optimism or hopefulness isn't out of style. Maybe it's out of style in the 21st century here in the twilight of an empire, but if we want to build a better world, I guess we have to dream about what it is. So I'm going to sing a few rounds of this, and if anybody like learns the words or wants to learn the words and sing with me, you totally can. You totally don't have to, because I know singing in front of strangers can feel really weird. Weird people do it. So the words are, we dream of what might be, that we might have the mettle to see. We dream of what might be. We dream of what might be, that we might have the mettle to see to what must be done in our dawn, in our days, in our hearts, so we might keep carrying on. So I'm just gonna sing it for a while until I hear at least some murmurs or some humming of someone knowing what I'm saying up here in this little chair, in this big stage, in this big world. We dream of what might be, that we might have the mettle to see to what must be done in our dawn, in our days, in our hearts, that we might keep carrying on. We dream of what might be, that we might have the mettle to see to what must be done in our dawn, in our days, in our hearts, that we might keep carrying on. We dream of what might be, that we might have the mettle to see to what must be done in our dawn, in our days, in our hearts, that we might keep carrying on. Thank you. Thank you so much for supporting your local library. And thank you to Kathy and to Cody. Joel's not here, but thanks to Joel too. Maybe he's watching at home. Happy birthday to Joel's wife.